Oh, if it's healthy, there's no way it can taste good. Wrong. Making things healthy and even making them macro-friendly does not mean that they need to taste boring, drab, bland, and that is where the challenge lies. I've found my ways around the gamut to figure out how to make things taste good. It's healthy, it's good for you, it's full of proteins, full of healthy carbohydrates, healthy fats. This is a delicious bowl that anybody can make. You can go up or down in the calories very easily, so let's make this, shall we? We'll start by rinsing and cooking our rice, then we'll bake and glaze our chicken. While that's going, we'll then quick pickle our carrots, cook some vegetables, and assemble the rest of our toppings. Now look, this is all about making a rice bowl in the time that it takes to make the rice. Doesn't that just make so much sense? Big brain. This will take about 40 to 50 minutes-ish. Depends on how much rice you put in there. I always put 2 cups. First, we have to wash the rice, okay? 2 cups of medium grain rice. This is nishiki, white rice, directly in there. Oh my God, it's not washed. We're gonna go wash it over here, right? Don't worry. So you're gonna fill this up with water, agitate it with your hand, and then carefully tilt the pot of your rice cooker just enough so as much of the water comes out as possible without losing any of your rice. Then repeat that about 2 more times until the water for the most part runs clear. Now, once that's done, you're just going to spread that rice out in a way that it's one even layer. Make sure there's no rice on the side of the bowl. And we're gonna add our water. I usually go equal parts water, but there's another way you can measure that. I'll show you in a second. We're gonna gently pour that water in to not disturb the rice too much. Think about it, we just gave it a nice little bath. Don't you want it to relax? See how I can see straight to the bottom of that? That is a good sign. The other way you can tell if there's enough water, you take your finger, go down into that water, and just once your finger goes into that rice, second it touches the rice, pull it out. If the water line meets up to the tip of your cuticle, the end of your nail right here, you are good. That works with any amount of rice. Your rice cooker, close it, and then all you gotta do is enjoy the song that I think we all know and love. Anyway, now we begin making the bowl. All right, the logical next step is to start on our chicken. This is the second longest part. First, grease your sheet tray so they don't stick. Then you're gonna need 6 to 8 skinless, boneless chicken thighs. You could do breast, you could do bone in, you could do skin on. This is, to me, the perfect middle ground, right? Because it's just low enough in fat that you get a relatively low calorie bowl, but they're almost impossible to overcook. Whereas chicken breast, yes, you'll get better macros, and most of the time I would probably use chicken breast if I'm on diet, but they're way easier to overcook. Cool, so we lay those out, give the tops of them a light greasing, and we're gonna season them with salt on both sides. Try to go a little bit lighter than usual because you are gonna glaze them. We don't want them to be too salty now. Make sure they are right side up, meaning the side that had the bone in it is facing down. You can pop those in an oven at 375 Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. Convection if you have it. If you don't worry about it. Okay, so while that's going, we're gonna make our glaze because that's gonna go onto the chicken in just a moment. First, we have a medium-sized red jalapeno or red Fresno chili. Either or works great. You're gonna remove the seeds, and then you're going to essentially julienne it. So cut it into thin threads. And then again, the other direction. You don't need to be too perfect here because after you get them somewhat chopped, you're then gonna run your knife through that a couple times just to get it fine. That is your chili. Now, I'm gonna jump over here. We're gonna add to this 6 tablespoons of any soy sauce you like, 4 tablespoons of rice vinegar, and then 2 tablespoons of a nice honey. You can put less, you can put a teaspoon, you can put a tablespoon. This is the most balanced for flavor, but it does add a little bit of carbohydrates to it. Then we're gonna add our finely chopped chilies, set that over medium-high, and bring that to a boil. Now, while that's coming up, I have 2 cloves of garlic over here. I'm just gonna pop those down, and we're gonna crush those. Run your knife through it to get sort of a rough chop. I got honey on my finger, that's why I'm doing this weird. Perfect, all right, let that sit. We'll add that in a second. Now, once this comes to a boil, you're gonna let it boil on medium-high for about a minute, and then you reduce the heat to medium and mix together a half tablespoon of cornstarch and a half tablespoon of water. Whisk until combined. Pour that into your mixture, mix until thickened. Now, if you want it thicker, you can always add more cornstarch. That's your goddamn glaze, dude. The heat is off, the glaze is done. Now I'm gonna add my garlic. Never add your garlic while it's boiling. It's way too aggressive on the garlic, and it's gonna give it sort of like an acrid, bitter flavor, and you don't want that. You want this just to be warm or hot when you add it. Steep the garlic in it like a nice tea. Then that's just gonna sit till it's time to glaze. Okay, we're gonna make our edamame broccoli. This is our vegetable element, super duper easy. 2 crowns of broccoli. Look, this is the easiest way to remove the florets. You're just gonna cut till you snip through and turn. Cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn. Just keep turning and cutting. Eventually those florets are gonna come off. You can keep this for a soup or you can throw it away. Do that with both your crowns. You have your broccoli. You can break these into smaller pieces. Try to keep them evenly sized. And a half bag of frozen edamame. You can leave the other half for when you make this again. And then a lemon, which I'm just gonna get prepared for myself by cheeking you literally just cut the outside parts off to juice, which we'll do at the end. Now, moving over to the stove. So we have a 12-inch stainless steel pan. You can do non-stick, you can do cast iron. Use what you got. Medium-high heat, a little bit of vegetable oil, just enough to coat the bottom. If you're watching your macros, use spray oil. Wow, fancy. Now, once that's ripping hot and just about smoking a little bit, you're gonna go in with your broccoli first, and your edamame. Hit it with some salt, and do not toss the pan yet. Let that one layer get a good char. The rest of it doesn't matter if it does or doesn't. About 2 to 3 minutes. You should start to smell some of that char, a little bit of burning. That's good. You want a little burn on this veg, and then you're gonna give it a nice toss, and then just let it keep searing. You can lower the heat if needed. Give it another touch of salt. Reduce the heat to medium, and then just let that cook, tossing occasionally, just until the broccoli is par cooked, but still has a little bit of crunch left in it, and the edamame is hot. About 5-ish minutes. Now, after that, you're then gonna hit it with a little bit of lemon juice to taste, cut off the heat, give it a nice toss, keep that warm, it's ready. Now you're gonna pull that chicken out a little over halfway through its cook time, 15 minutes in or 20 minutes in, and once it's got a little bit of color and the chicken's for the most part cooked through, you're gonna take your glaze and glaze each piece of chicken. Don't use all of it because we're gonna use a little bit more in a second. We're gonna do both sides. All right, pop that back in for the other half cook time, 15 to 20 more minutes. Okay, we're gonna make a quick pickle. And by that I mean we're literally just gonna dress it. Super simple. So, small bowl, 3 tablespoons of vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons of water, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. That's it. Now you're gonna whisk that till it's mostly dissolved. Now, we have 2 carrots. Super quick pickle. You're gonna either julienne or very thinly slice these on a mandolin, however you wanna do it. If you are gonna julienne, get yourself a mandolin. You can also do this with your knife, and you're gonna slice this lengthwise. I cut my carrots in half. 2 carrots total. I'm gonna slice this into thin planks. Careful not to hurt your hand. I almost did just now. So scary. All right, these guys here. Then all you're gonna do is layer them up nicely, and then you're gonna cut them lengthwise about the same width as they are thick. So you end up with nice, evenly sized little threads. Now, if you have a julienne machine or like device, use that. This will take you some time if you don't have practice doing it. As you finish this, add it to your pickle liquid. Leave them in that until it's time to serve. Even if you do this at the very last minute and just give them a light little toss, that's fine too. So we're pretty much done. You don't have to do anything else if you don't want to, but if you have time, you wanna add in some other toppings, whatever your vibe is, you can get some green onions and you can just slice those. Just slice them thin, right? Stack them up like this and cut them into nice thin rounds. Super simple. Now, another great topping would be avocado. You don't need me to show you how to do this, hopefully, but the way I like to do it, take your avo, cut it down the middle all the way around. All right, so now it's been cut this way, and do the exact same thing the other direction, so you've now quartered it. Pop her open, boom, boom. The one that's stuck inside, what do? Give it a little love tap, boom, twist, and remove. If you're gonna peel these quarters, please don't peel towards the bottom, peel at the top. Just makes it easier to peel. I don't know why. It's just the anatomy of the universe. Then to slice, you can use your knife or another knife held like a pencil if you want. And just run along as thick or as thin as you'd like it to be. You can even fan it out at this stage if you want. There's a possibility you finish this around the time that the rice cooker is done cooking, or maybe you're really fast and you finish it beforehand. Just chill. Get your mise en place set up during that time. Or if it's taking you a little longer, just go fluff your rice and let it sit on warm until you're done prepping. So your chicken's cooked. I know it doesn't look great yet, but it's going to. You're gonna give it one final coating of your glaze on just the top part. Evenly divide that sauce on every single thigh. Use all of it, don't be shy. And then all you're gonna do, pop this under the broiler for about 1 to 3 minutes or until it's caramelized and a little bit of chard on top. Now finally, we assemble and serve. First, a nice layer of your rice, as much or as little as you like. Your chicken, which you'll slice about a ½ inch thick and place it on top. Your cooked vegetables, your quick pickled carrots, your avocado, flaky sea salt, your green onion, optionally, furikake. Wow, look at this, dude. It's so pretty, all the colors of the rainbow. No, get a little piece of chicken. Out of here, dude. It's been a long time since I've made something like this, and I'm mad at myself for not doing it sooner. This was shockingly easy. We made it before we were even done cooking the rice. It's a whole meal. If you're hungry and you want a good lunch or a good dinner, not only is this gonna deeply satiate you, and you are not gonna be hungry after you eat this, but you're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel light and airy. You're gonna feel like you can float off into the sky like Zeus riding a lightning bolt to Mount Olympus, and you're shredded and your abs are vascular and But the best part about it is it tastes great. The chicken's juicy, it's not dry at all. It's got a little bit of tinge of sweetness and almost like a smokiness. The spicy Fresno, the garlickiness. I mean, that's just the chicken. The rice is beautifully cooked and the vegetables just kind of provide a nice fresh crunch. Some creaminess from the avocado, the green onion adds of course some extra flavor, and then little pops of acidity to cut any amount of richness and keep that bowl nice and fresh from the crunchy, quick pickled carrot, dude. You don't need to add or take anything away from this bowl. It is complete as is. Within the amount of time that it takes to cook rice in a rice cooker, you too can make this bowl. It's easy, it's healthy, customize it, and enjoy. Bye, subscribe.